I'm home. We're home in Cape Town, and I've been resisting something. We have had this bag for a full 2 days now, and I've been really resisting to open up what's inside this bag. I went to the camera shop, to Cameraland here in Cape Town, and they had this waiting for me. I pre-ordered this well over a month ago, and he was like, just let me open this up. Let me unbox this for you to make sure everything's inside. And I was like, nah, Clint, I need to open this at home. It is the Canon EOS R that I've been waiting for, for a month. I've been waiting for this for years. A Canon full-frame mirrorless camera. And as you can see, Clint tried to open it, but it hasn't been opened. Let's open this. So excited. Things we don't need. Serial card number. Whatever that piece of paper is. Instruction manual. Probably should use that, but that's what YouTube's for. USB-C cable, I guess, to move files. That's pretty good. It goes by USB-C. The battery, which is awesome. The EOS R uses LPE6 batteries, which is great because the 5D Mark IV and my 6D have that, so I didn't need to get batteries. I now have like 7 of these. LPE6N. The charger is also LPE6, which means that I now have 4 chargers. And now we get to the good stuff. Removing the plastic. Camera strap. Who uses those things? Camera body. Something in here. Moving the box. I don't know why I'm narrating this way. Ooh, it's squeaky. Woo! There it is. That is the Canon EOS R, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I like it. It kind of has like a throwback look to it, almost like an old school camera, almost has that Fuji kind of look to it, but it's also got a very kind of modern, futuristic look with the curves and the cuts, lots of rubber grip. It feels good in my hand, to be honest. I have pretty small hands, like not Donald Trump small, but I have pretty small hands, and I think the grip actually feels bigger than I expected. I don't feel like I can wrap my fingers all the way around it. I do think that the grip's actually a little bit bigger, which is surprising to me. Yeah, the grip feels bigger, and actually I would say it doesn't feel super comfortable in my hand yet. My hand kind of hangs over the bottom. I don't know, that might take some getting used to, that whole feel test, and it might just be because, you know, it's a smaller camera and it's a new camera, but it's definitely light. Did that make you nervous when I was shaking it around like that? That it was just gonna fly off? In this is the adapter. I ordered 3 different adapters. Only one's here yet. I'm also still waiting on the 35mm that's back ordered. So this is the first adapter that's here. I have ordered the one that has the variable ND in it, and I have ordered the one that has the control ring on it. This is just the classic one that comes with the camera. So this is my favorite thing about the EOS R. On my Sony camera, I had the Sony a6300. It got dust in it so easily. This one, the Canon EOS R, has this shutter that kind of blocks it down so you don't get dust on the sensor. I think that's a really intelligent move by Canon. The adapter is here. This is, as I mentioned, just the simple adapter. I think it goes on like this. Clicks in. That's the camera with the adapter. Now, before I get to playing around with the camera, I need to address something. Everybody's been saying don't replace your 5D Mark IV with the EOS R. Wait until the upgraded, you know, bigger, proer version comes out. But that's kind of a misconception. I'm not replacing the 5D Mark IV with the EOS R. I'm replacing the 200D. I'm gonna put the two side by side. The 200D, by the way, was great to me. It really has been awesome to me. It's done marvelously. The 200D is essentially the smallest DSLR in the world, I guess second to its predecessor. And sitting side by side, they look like almost exactly the same size. Obviously, it's heavier, it's a little bit wider, but this is gonna go on the gimbal, and this is gonna be my vlogging camera and my backup stills camera. That's the reason I bought it, not to replace my beloved 5D Mark IV, but to replace my beloved 200D. So I guess what I'm saying is I don't need this one anymore. When you get a little camera, the most intelligent thing to do is to put your biggest lens on it. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to pop it onto the EOS R, like so. So let's pop a battery into this. If you haven't noticed yet, literally nothing on this video has been scripted at all. I had no plan. I just kind of wanted to grab the camera and chat and see kind of how things work. Turns out the on-off switch is up here. There's no like little thing that sticks out, which I actually kind of find annoying. On the 5D Mark IV, there's just a little knob and it makes turning that easier. The viewfinder looks great. I'm not gonna go into details about the features of this camera and do like a full-on review because I think that everybody's already done that. They've all done it like crazy. My favorite video review was done by Maddie. I'm gonna link that up here somewhere. It was just such a good review about the video features. I'm sure there's also a lot of good photography reviews on this. I'm going to obviously get this out in the field really soon and do some landscape photography and stuff like that and talk about it later. But for right now, what I kind of just want to do rather than going through all the features like everybody else on the internet has done is I want to go into the menu. And then once it's set up, we'll go out into the field and we'll do some shooting. Shout out to the articulating screen, am I right? Anyways, image quality. First thing I do always is move my camera to RAW. I don't worry about a JPEG, just RAW. Shutter release without a card, turn this off. I can't tell you how many people I've met that are like, oh, I was shooting all day and then I realized I didn't have a card. It won't release the shutter if you turn that off. Turn it off. ISO speed settings, I don't set this right away, obviously, out of camera, but when I'm out in the field, I do set this all up. Flipping through all these things, this is another big thing, color space. Nobody changes their color space in their camera, a few people do. Change it to Adobe RGB because you get more color in Adobe RGB. Picture style, I like to set mine at landscape because that's how I tend to edit my photos and I like to be able to see on the screen what the image is going to look like when I edit it. Noise reduction is off. Touch shutter, I don't like this, so it's off. HDR, I don't shoot it, it's off. Autofocus operations, I really don't know how I want to set this up. I tend to use the large zone vertical and then I flow from side to side and let the camera choose. So we'll just set that for now. This is something I'm really looking forward to using, touch and drag autofocus. I'm going to turn that on and we'll figure that out later. Go back. Manual focus peaking. We'll turn that on. Make sure we get our focus right. If we go in manual focus, I switch the orientation so that it switches. So basically if I go vertical, it'll switch with me. I find that very helpful, so I'm switching that. And now we're gonna jump over to this section, which I don't think there's ever anything that you need to touch in the blue section. Settings, auto rotate. I turn that on the computer. Date and time, let's change this right now. Okay. Language, English, lots of options. Look at this, look at all the options. Well done, Canon. We'll stick with English. Video system for PAL, no, I set that to NTSC because I prefer 60 frames per second to 50. Beep, if you're ever doing beep in the field and you're by yourself, that's fine. If you like to beep around, that's your prerogative. As soon as there's other photographers around, or if there's wildlife around, turn it off, turn it off. Nobody needs to hear you beeping. Skipping through the menus. This is one of the biggest pet peeves of the EOS R to me, is the lack of GPS. As a travel photographer, I use GPS all the time. It helps me, it helps my clients, it helps me organize in later on. It's so helpful, so I'm a little bit annoyed about that lack of GPS. All these things I'm going to figure out later on because, yeah, I haven't figured them out yet. And some of these things, like the custom shooting modes, I want to play around with for a while. All of these things looks normal. All of these things, they look normal. These are, again, things I got to work out and figure out as we go along. Custom buttons, this is my big thing because I back button focus. So the shutter halfway, I have it so it only meters. And then I use this back button autofocus because it's just better. In my opinion, it's just better. I'm gonna figure out what I wanna do with these manual function buttons later on. We'll get to them. The custom dials, again, I'm going to get to these later on as well. And customize the manual function bars. I haven't figured out how I want to do this. A lot of people have been saying that this bar gets in the way. Just having held it, I don't really see how that's going to be an issue. But I'll play with that later and set it up and maybe talk about that in a future video. I think all of this stuff is now set. So the camera's set. Let's go out and take some pictures. Okay, I'm in the car. I'm on the 16 to 35 millimeter with the adapter, vlogging now on the EOS R. From basically when I left the house to, the end of this video, everything's gonna be filmed on the EOS R, and all the photos are gonna be on the EOS R as well. In fact, left the 5D Mark IV back home. So we're gonna cruise to a photo location, one that I've been to before, but gonna work on a different location, different composition, and hopefully it's cool. I should mention quick, that there's a giant baboon here. He looks so suspicious. I love a good baboon. I'm gonna do this with the baboon in the background. I should mention that those shots while driving weren't on the EOS R, they were on the GoPro, obviously. I am now EOS R fully. I'm now EOS R fully, and I should also mention that I'm not on a gimbal. I am also not even on a GorillaPod, it's just right on my hand. I wanted to give you guys a best look at what the EOS R looks like straight out of the camera. I will mention though that I do have the Rode Video Micro, so the audio isn't coming directly from the EOS R. Let's talk about this quick, because I know this video is already probably about 12 minutes and I haven't even started taking pictures, but I'm not going to talk very much. I kind of just wanted to give you guys a sample of what the photos and video looks like. So I'm here at Kogal Bay. I cruised down the whale route to get here, and I'm here and I'm gonna try to get 2 photos. I did shoot this place before. I'll show you a photo of it earlier. But I wanted to get down onto the beach this time and get some rocks in the foreground and maybe get a shot of a surfer right into the sunset if there's surfers in the water. So that's the plan. Some B-roll with the EOS R now, and hopefully a couple cool photos. Light was crazy good, and actually still kind of is. I got a couple shots I think that I like. There was no surfers out, but I did get a couple shots I like. And if you're new to this channel, you came to this channel to see the EOS R in action, stick around, because over the next couple episodes I'm gonna go out shooting, vlogging, and all sorts of stuff with the EOS R. So subscribe to the channel if you're not already. As for the images, yeah, I'm happy with them. Any doubt that I had kind of relating to the Canon 6D Mark II about the dynamic range is, in my mind anyway, just been kind of blown out the window, because the light was hard tonight. Even though it was beautiful, the light was hard, and it still just seemed to capture all the color and all the light without any issue. The one issue from a photo standpoint, from a photography standpoint, I noticed is that it seems like there's a lot of vignetting with my 16 to 35 on the photos when it's wide at 16 millimeters. So we'll see if that's an issue moving forward over the next couple videos, I think. As for the video, my only major complaint is the record button. Man, the record button kind of sucks. Pushing it, there's been so many times that I thought I started recording and I didn't. There's been so many times that I thought I stopped recording and I didn't. It was just kind of a battle. So those are my initial thoughts on the Canon EOS R. I am, as I mentioned, going to go out and shoot more epic landscape photography like this in the Cape Town area and South Africa on the EOS R. Gonna shoot some street photography when the 35mm comes in a couple days. And yeah, it should be fun. Lots of EOS R content, lots of photography coming up. Hope to see you guys on the next episode. Peace.